Welcome to the Plant Grow Reap podcast.
Hello and welcome to Plant Grow Reap. My name is Selina and I am here with Daniel today. And we're just going to talk all about Daniel today, to be honest, on this podcast. How about you introduce yourself, Daniel?
Thank you for having me. Obviously, my name's Daniel, an accountant here at Aintree Group. Been at Aintree Group for a while now. I guess I'm kind of answering the first question that I think you're going to ask me.
Yeah, I am. Let's not jump ahead. So tell me and tell us, the listeners, a little bit about your background and how you ended up working in your current role at Aintree Group.
All right. So I guess grew up in Fairfield, in the north of Melbourne. Went to school, primary school, high school, university, went to RMIT, studied economics and finance. So I didn't study accounting, didn't even do accounting in high school. I don't want to say your average life, but I'll say it for this purpose. Nothing too crazy, nothing out of the ordinary, I don't think.
So you didn't study accounting in high school and you didn't do an accounting degree. What made you start in an accounting firm?
Yeah, so bit of not really a funny story, I guess a good story. During my second year of university, so my mum, being a graphic designer, she was part of this back when Twitter was probably in its early stages, I think.
Or X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah, sorry, X. Mum was part of like a business networking group that Andrea McKenna was a part of, one of the directors and founders of Aintree Group. And they, I guess, connected, and I think Mum did a bit of work for Aintree Group back then, just designed a few little things here and there, helped print a few things. Anyway, they had each other on Facebook. One day, Andrea posted on Facebook, and she basically said, we're looking for a couple of students to come do some admin work, just be admin assistants during uni, if they want to get their foot in the door, that kind of thing. Obviously, I was in the business space, so I'd like to think, from memory, Mum encouraged me a lot to call up and, I guess take the courage to actually ask, not ask for the job, but say I was interested. And Andrea and Shane being very into the community and wanting to always support the community around them, they took me on board without, I guess, me having to do too much, I don't think, and also another girl at the time, Laura Hook. We're kind of admin assistants for about, I think, a year or so. Then after a year, Shane was kind of, planting the seed, I think, in my head. You can potentially be an accountant one day. Like, what do you think of it? Keep it in mind. And then we got to, I think it was probably midway through my last year of uni. Shane, I think, officially just said, would you want to be a graduate accountant? Like, have you thought about your future? And at that time, I was personally a bit unsure. Like, the theory of economics and finance wasn't the most exciting thing out there. Not that maybe accounting is either or is any different. But yeah, from then on, I was like, you know what? Why not? Like, I knew Aintree Group was a good company run by good people. They were growing and wanted to grow, I guess. It kind of started from there, and then the rest is history. So I've been at Aintree Group for over 7 years now, and honestly, every day I count myself as pretty fortunate and lucky that I like to say, fallen into this job through a connection of my mum. That's, I guess, how I've ended up working in this current role, essentially. So, decent story.
Pretty lucky then.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, every day I almost think to myself, I'm lucky.
Well, that's good.
And haven't had to go through.
Yeah, so what do you enjoy most about your job and the company culture?
I think there's a couple of things that I can think of. So I think just the people like I work with and work around. I think Aintree Group focus on and do a good job of hiring like good people. Obviously good accountants and bookkeepers and all that kind of stuff as well, but they do try and focus on the personal aspect of things because that's what that's, I guess, part of their values.
And so not just good at the job, but also have a good personality.
Yeah, and even just good morals, good values that align, not necessarily good, but values that align with them in terms of their care and putting clients, first at times and that kind of thing. So I think that definitely helps in any kind of workplace. The working environment. So I think, at Aintree Group I'd like to say we have a fairly good balance in terms of mucking around, talking and working. Like most of the time I'd say we work pretty hard and everyone's knuckling down and, heads in their screens, I guess. But at the same time, we with the addition of the culture champions that we've recently, had going on, I think to put it in simple terms, we know when to talk and when to have a good time, and we know when to work hard. So I think the working environment is good from my perspective. And then I think just the progressive mindset that Andrew and Shane have always had, and I guess all the other people that they've hired and all the other leaders at the firm, just always wanting to be better, always wanting to adapt, improve, change things. And obviously there can be teething issues, and it's at times difficult for everyone else involved when there's changes. But they always see the other side of things and how it will improve things. So I think that's kind of what I enjoy about Aintree Group. And I guess just the care that, from my perspective, that they've always shown me and other people, more than maybe a larger firm might, or other firms. Not that I really know, but you know what I mean.
We've only ever been at one firm.
Yeah, correct.
So you've been
very lucky.
Pretty lucky to experience a good firm from the get-go.
Yeah.
So what are some valuable skills or qualities that you think have helped you succeed in your career and where you are today?
I'd say, communication is a pretty good one. Not that I'm far from perfect with communication, I guess, in the rest of my life. And
I'm going to say you take 2 days to text me back.
Yeah, sometimes I'm not great with that. But I guess at work and, communication I think is a big one. Also in life, obviously, but at work. What else? I guess just, maybe being personable and pretty social, and, trying to be, caring about people and caring about the work that you do, and, not offering a premium service. I don't offer the service myself personally, but, trying to uphold the quality that we do. And, I guess another one's like attention to detail, which again, I'm not perfect with. Don't think anyone is, but that's something I've always kind of tried to be good at and improve on. And because I think, if you can, I guess, take the quick approach with a lot of things and rush things. And, a lot of clients might not care about it, but you get the one or two that do, which portrays a bad image. And they could be the clients that recommend or refer a lot of other clients and that kind of thing. So I guess things like attention to detail, communication, being personable, trying to be a good person, those are probably the skills that I think I try and use, or I'm maybe good at naturally, that I try and use to my advantage. Yeah. Yeah,
well, I think it's beneficial if you always use something that you're somewhat naturally good at.
Which is hard to figure out, yeah.
It can be, but I think definitely playing to your strengths can get you quite far in a career. So during your 7 years at Aintree Group, what's been some of your favourite moments?
So I think when was it? 4 months ago now, our end of financial year celebration, which was hosted at ECLA, an exclusive members club down the road that probably all my friends know about because I've harped on about it a bit. It was our 18-year celebration from obviously incorporation date, and the venue I guess suited it. It was a really classy kind of vibe. Everyone was dressed up. Probably the first time we really dressed up and had a cocktail dress code. The food was obviously really good, of course drinks are flowing and that kind of thing. So that was probably one of my favourite moments. I think a lot of people mingled very well and everyone was kind of talking with each other from what I saw. What else? There's another good memory I have from when I turned 21. My birthday's in the Christmas holidays, so I often don't get to see it or celebrate it. And then I think I returned back to work, obviously in January one time, and my desk, not like that I really had a desk back then, I don't think, but it was all decorated with, streamers and balloons, and had a nice big card, had a really big card with everyone had written a message in it, just wishing me happy birthday, and thought that was a pretty good memory. Even in our older office, which used to be in Kew High Street, used to be across the road from Macca's, which is a good and a bad thing, but personally I have good memories with another fellow accountant, Joseph, because he's also been in Aintree Group for about 6.5 years now, and I guess just us two being the same age and almost growing up together and working together as graduates. Had a lot of good memories, just whether it was going to Coles and buying our cold meats together, getting some nice ciabatta bread and making our sandwiches and always sharing those kind of things. Little memories like that. And yeah, I guess I could argue that moving offices and growing, I guess seeing the business grow has kind of been a good, not necessarily a memory, but something that I think about and I'm happy with, proud of, and that kind of thing. It's hard to, I struggle to remember things, to be honest. But
I mean, it shows that we're getting old. So we're struggling to remember things.
Speak for yourself.
We're the same age, aren't we?
I know, yeah. I don't feel old. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not always.
I sometimes do. That's fine. So what's your favourite part of the workday and why?
This is a pretty easy one for me. I'm always thinking about lunch. I don't really know why. It's maybe just become a habit where I just...
I feel like you're the first person in the office to have lunch every day.
Yeah, I sometimes go through phases, and then the one that normally sticks is I'll eat lunch at 11:30.
Yeah, 11:30, 11:45. You're like, what's that smell? And you're like, oh, it's Daniel.
It's Daniel eating.
Daniel eating his lunch or his pasta.
His leftovers or something. Yeah, his meal prep that he does once every 2 months. But yeah, I don't know whether it's maybe not the best answer, but yeah, lunch, I reckon. Kind of breaks up the day, I think you get in a habit of having a mental break at certain times, and then if you don't have it at that time, it's like, oh shit, you feel like you need it, kind of thing. And
that's fair enough. That's one way of looking at it. Some other people decide to take their lunch break later because once they come back, then there's less time between coming back to work and finishing work.
I think that's a very common thing, but I can't wait that long to eat. Maybe I just need to eat breakfast, but
maybe they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, Daniel.
Well, I just blame it on intermittent fasting that I don't really do, but for this purpose, I intermittently fast.
For your purposes, you say you intermittently fast. Correct. So you can have lunch at 11:45.
Yeah, when someone asks me, that's my answer.
Yeah, well, don't you break your intermittent fast with a coffee beforehand?
Yeah, but it doesn't count, right? I don't know. I don't think so. If it's black coffee, it doesn't count, right?
So is there a quote or a mantra that resonates with you and guides and helps your approach to life? And how do you handle stress and maintain a positive mindset, especially during challenging times?
Wow, deep question.
Deep and meaningful time.
Yeah, fortunately, I've looked at the question before this. So I have somewhat of an answer, but I guess in terms of like stress and worrying about things or anxiety or things that maybe don't matter as much as it seems. I don't know. It's not really, I guess it's a mantra, not really a quote. I just always think to myself, like, is it the end of the world? Like when you're worrying about something. And I'd like to think it stems from when I was, I think, 13, 14, like in high school. It was probably like 3 months where I just had anxiety, like really bad anxiety. It was pretty short-lived, saw a psychologist, and it was kind of fixed. But I just remember from that, I would always just think, when I'd worry about something or stress about something, I'd always just think, like, does it really matter? Is it the end of the world? Mm-hmm. And 99% of the time, no, it's not the end of the world. So I guess that's kind of what I live by. And obviously, you try and prioritize things, try and be urgent with things at work. And, if a client asks for something, of course, you try and do it as quick as possible. But at the same time, like, if it's stressing you out too much, and that's kind of what I think to myself. And I guess what I try and remember to not worry more than I need to, in a way, in a good way, if that comes across in a good way, to not worry as much as I need to. Because I guess I always think about the potentials.
The potential outcomes.
Which I guess is what people with anxiety think about, but they just think of the bad things. I don't know, somehow I think of the positives, and I just think, or I'm more just, I don't know, try and think logically and like, what's the worst that could actually happen? Like, I don't know if you'd rock up late to something. Not that I try to rock up late, but what's the worst that can happen? You stay back an extra 15 minutes, sorted, while you're worrying about it, like, in a way. So hopefully I've answered that somewhat well.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good positive mindset to have in terms of what's going to happen. Like, what's really going to happen? You know?
Correct. And you can, I guess people might look at it and say, you just don't care about anything. But, like, I guess you try and show care through other ways. And obviously you care about many things. And it's more just not caring when I'm probably digging myself a hole here, but I don't know where I'm trying to go with it. But I think hopefully everyone gets what I'm trying to say.
They get your point.
Thank you.
So can you describe your go-to work outfit or attire, and what makes you feel confident, Daniel?
Go-to work outfit. Probably don't really have one. Just your standard smart casual. We don't wear ties or blazers usually at Aintree Group. But I'd like to say I look forward to Casual Friday all the time. Because I kind of get sick of wearing your smart casual where you just have to kind of wear the same polo, not the same polo, but polos and shirts and tuck it in and wear your belt, and it's not really many colours and things you can do with it. Got to wear your nice, whatever you call, I don't even know what you call those type of shoes, like dress shoes, I guess. Dress shoes. So yeah, I think I look forward to like the casual kind of days that we have where you can kind of just dress a little bit differently, and I don't want to be cliche and say express yourself, because I don't really think about it like that, but yeah, just be a bit different and I don't know, change it up. So that's probably when I feel comfortable.
I mean, you can express yourself in normal business casual work attire.
You can.
You just got to go shopping at the right places.
And spend a lot of money usually, but
I mean, potentially.
I'd like to think for formal clothes. But yeah, you're right, I guess. Maybe it's more acceptable to be a bit different on a casual Friday.
That's fair.
As long as it's not too different.
Yeah.
Right, but
yeah, it's not too offensive or anything.
Yeah, too out
fine.
there. There's no rips in it. No, that's in our happy HR employment policy.
Yes.
Because I used to wear ripped jeans all the time, and then one day, go on, ripped denim jackets.
Oh, so you're the reason for that.
Maybe. I don't know, actually.
I'm just going to blame you going forward.
I'll take it.
So what is the most interesting or unusual item on your desk or your workspace? I know for a fact that in your drawer, you and Joseph usually like to have a storage facility for snacks.
Yes.
In your bottom drawer. Yeah,
usually it's tuna rice. I go through phases with snacks, but I think I've just learnt that it's just not good to have snacks in your drawer because you just eat them. Like recently I bought Zappos, I bought the butterscotch lollies, whatever they're called. And then the
Werther's Originals.
Yeah, which are they're great. And the natural confectionery, like packaged ones.
Yeah.
And like every day I was just eating like 3 minimum, and I was just like, what am I doing? Like I'm not even hungry. It just became a habit after lunch.
There.
Yeah, pretty much. So I gave them all to Joseph, and he ate like 10 in one day, I think, because he has worse willpower than me. But to answer the rest of that question, again, something that Joseph has or maybe has borrowed off me, I'm kind of ratting him in here, but nail polish, because I'm a serial nail biter.
Yes, and as someone who sits next to Joseph on the daily, we'll tell him off to stop biting his nails because I see it from the corner of my eye.
Yeah.
And I tell him to stop. And when Daniel used to sit next to me on the other side, I used to also tell you to stop.
Used to cough it, yeah. Look, I've really tried to get out of the habit, but it just doesn't work. I don't know how to fix it. I'll keep forgetting to maybe book in like hypnosis. That's what people,
hypnotherapy.
That's like the last resort. But
shock therapy, maybe.
God, who knows? But this nail polisher, every so often I might chuck it on and stop there. It essentially tastes bad. It's not real nail, like not to make the nails look nice, but that's one thing. I got hair wax in my drawer. Bought that not too long ago. I think because I've obviously been at Aintree for a long time, it's slowly just built up. Like every 6 months, I'll just buy something different. Like I got lint rollers in there. Like, I don't know. One day I was just like, what if when I start seeing clients a bit more, and I don't know if we do have dogs in the office one day. There's a bit of fur on my black pants, or if I play with the cat in the morning. Or
I appreciate keeping the lint roller in the drawer. Being an owner of a white fluffy cat and wearing a lot of black clothing, I do keep a lint roller in my glove box of my car.
Yeah, true.
So keeping one in your desk, I think, is very essential, especially when we do have some doggos come into the office, like Teddy, who's a long-haired dog. Yeah. So it just appears. Fur just appears.
Exactly, yeah. So I think those are a couple of my weird things, I guess.
The most important question, Daniel, is coffee or tea, and how do you take it?
So I'm pretty controversial when it comes to this question. I guess with teas, I think I've really tried to get into tea over the years, but it just, I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. Like, it just smells better than it tastes. Like it smells unreal. You get like this real fruity one. I don't normally go for the fruity ones. And then you taste it, it's just like water with like the tinge of flavour. It's like, fuck, like could just drink something, I don't know, like nicer. It
What,
tastes
you
better.
feel like you're drinking dirty water?
No, I don't feel that. It's just like
Just
so
there's
many
no
better
flavour.
things out there. Yeah. Anyway,
You
onto
steeping it long
coffee.
enough?
Yeah, leave it in there for a while. Honey and lemon's always good though when you're a bit under the weather. But coffee. So I drink about 2 to 3 coffees a day, but I think it's very overrated, to be honest. A lot of people that drink coffee don't actually drink like you have a latte. A lot of people put a sugar in it. It doesn't taste like coffee at that point. Like, okay, I can understand the people that drink your long blacks with like no sugar. All right, you're a coffee fan. Like, I'll take that.
Like they like the taste of coffee.
Yeah, and like, you have your coffee or ice cream. Yeah, it tastes good. I agree. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like if it didn't have caffeine in it, not that many. Like, you could argue that with a lot of things, but I just think it's a bit overrated. And a lot of people that say, I need a coffee or I need this, and then they go like, probably taking shots at people here, but go to like a mocha or like something like that, or a cappuccino with 1 sugar. It's like not much coffee in that. Like taste wise, it's like,
Well, potentially they're not doing it for the taste; they're just doing it for the caffeine.
yeah.
Portion.
So I guess I guess what I'm
And they
trying to
don't
say
like
is
the-
caffeine. It's everyone drink. I usually drink it for the caffeine. Like, I'll enjoy one every so often on the weekend, or my first one. Or if it didn't have caffeine, I probably wouldn't have one in the morning.
That's fair enough.
But then again, I wouldn't have tea either.
Because as someone who is not a coffee drinker, like, I get it. The only times I do really drink caffeine is when we'll be in a mocha. So
Yeah.
I don't taste the
Mocha's a
caffeine,
great
and
mocha,
I will
Yeah.
need the caffeine if, gone to a concert the night before and I've come to work and I'm really tired. Or the good old Starbucks, because it's so sweet and flavored
Exactly.
that doesn't taste like coffee at all. And I'm 100% here for that, especially during pumpkin spice season, which is now. So
I need to try one of those. I don't think I've ever had a pumpkin spice like latte. They actually taste good. Or
yeah, well, pumpkin spice is like an allspice. It's very cinnamony,
does it
nutmeg.
taste like pumpkin?
No,
It's just the spice.
it's
like
the spices they use when they make a pumpkin pie. So it's the spices that they include with the pumpkin,
Right.
but it's like an allspice. So like cinnamon, nutmeg, like
something different.
cloves. Like
Yeah,
that's the mixture of the allspice that they use in the pumpkin spice latte.
Cool. I'll try one.
So highly
Try my
recommend.
best.
And then lastly, if you could change one thing about your workplace, what would it be?
There's probably not many things like that I'd really want to change. Again, I always think that I'm pretty fortunate. I think we have it pretty good in Aintree Group. Not that I know any other places, but to answer the question, I guess to somehow have overseas clients or incorporate overseas travel. Like, obviously that'd be pretty cool. You hear it, like I hear about friends that always travel interstate and that kind of thing for work. And yeah, I guess that's probably the only thing I'd really like change, I guess, about Aintree Group. But
I mean, that usually depends. Like a lot of those usually are bigger firms or big four firms that usually have consignment or interstate clients that they have to travel for.
yeah, no, correct. Yeah.
But no, I can completely understand that.
So you get to travel, I guess, a
Doesn't
bit
he
more
get to
often. Yeah. Because travel's obviously great, but or you could just take a sabbatical, right? That's the thing.
Just take your
We
long
don't
service.
encourage that, yeah. Long service, got a bit of that left, yeah, fortunately. But yeah, I don't know what else would I change. I don't know, maybe closer to home, but it's already pretty close, so I'm pretty lucky there. Yeah, not much.
I think that's a benefit than not having a lot of things that you want to change.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I try not to think of outrageous things. Like, you got to be grateful with what you have. And yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan, for
Pleasure.
chatting all about yourself today.
It's been great.
And thank you for everyone for listening. I'm
Thank you.
Selina, and we'll see you next time.
See ya. Thank you for interviewing me.